Fun press conference for me. Get a chance to talk a little bit about Logan, and just really impressive from start all the way to this point. And the first time I know he came out on our radar, our scouts were raving about him before the Senior Bowl. We went to the Senior Bowl. A lot of our coaches got a chance to interact with him on the other team, and that's when he really popped onto my radar. Got a chance to talk to Coach Bull over the years, and he's always raved about Logan as a player and a person. He's one of those draft experiences that I have where we really crossed our fingers for every single pick that came off the board, hoping and praying that he'd still be available. Unfortunately, he was. But he's a guy that our whole building had a ton of conviction on through the pre-draft process. Everything you hear about his family and his upbringing and his experience at Wyoming and the impact he's had on people at his high school is tremendous. And so we're fortunate to have him, fortunate to get a deal done with him that's well-deserved by Logan. And so we're set for years to come with such a great piece of the puzzle and Logan Wilson. And so excited to introduce him at this press conference, and I'll turn it over to him and walk away.
What was your reaction like when the deal was finalized?
It's almost like just like a sigh of relief that things are done, and you can just continue to go out and play football. And what I've done throughout the last, now 4 years coming into this year, I think it's going to be another fun year for us.
Obviously, there's other contracts in the draft class that were highly discussed, talked about throughout the process. I mean, what was that like, knowing that you're kind of one of the pieces that they're looking at long term and kind of trying to manage, kind of keeping tabs on everything that was going on around you as you kind of were going through negotiations?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the negotiations and whatnot were done by my agent, and then he just kind of relayed some of that information to me, and then that's just kind of how things were done. Obviously, I know of the guys that we want to get done too, and so I still think that this contract allows them to get those things done with those guys, and hopefully we're able to keep them long term as well.
What does it mean to be a building block of this franchise that this team obviously values you as going forward?
It means a lot to me to be a small part of this organization from kind of where we were, in COVID year, winning like 4 football games to where we're at now. And to be a small part of that is very rewarding for me. It's humbling. It's kind of the reason you do things to kind of turn a program around like we have. And it's very fun to play for Coach Taylor and the stuff that he's instilled in us as players and the way that he's led this organization. I think we've ignited the city of Cincinnati, and we just got to keep that fire moving forward.
Where were you when you found out about the deal, and who'd you call first after that initial conversation? I
was here at work. So I didn't really call anyone right away. I told my parents about it. I just kept via text message, but I couldn't really call them and let them know. But they knew it was getting close, so I was keeping them updated. No, you're good.
What about being with Matt?
Yeah.
Brad are not going to be together for at least a couple more years.
Yeah.
Maybe 4. I mean, that's going to be nice.
Very nice. I think it's very rare to be able to play with someone next to you for as long as we're going to be able to play next to each other. And I think we've both helped each other grow as players, and we're only going to continue to do that. And Coach Betch has helped us as players as well. And so I think that the sky's the limit. We still have a ton of things that we can get better at, and we just put our heads forward and go to work every day and try to get better.
What do you think it is about you? What do you think it is about you and Brad that clicks? You're from the different parts of the country, but grew up differently. I mean, what do you think is?
I think that's just what makes football so unique in general. Is you got guys coming from all sorts of different backgrounds. It doesn't matter where they came from, but you're all coming together with one goal in mind, and that's to win a Super Bowl. And so when guys have that same goal in mind, you can help each other get better and push each other. Not just Jermaine and I, but every other linebacker in our linebackers room, push them to be great because, I learned a long time ago, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And so, look, those guys that might not be playing on Sundays, but they're playing on practice squad, getting reps, giving us a look on scout team. Like, when they give a good look, it helps us get better and prepared for Sundays. And so we just push everyone to be as good as they can be.
When Pratt resigned, in the back of your head, did you think, oh, well, maybe there's not enough for me as well in the linebacker room going in here?
Not really, originally. My agent kind of let me know right away. Is like, no, this shouldn't be a problem. And I knew I wanted to be here, and so I'm just glad we were able to get something done.
You mentioned wanting to be here. I mean, you always with us were pretty resolute that
this is where you want him to be.
Yeah.
Never really. A, why was that? And B, was there ever a moment where you wondered, am I going to have to think about what free agency could be like last year? Was there any moments along where you wondered if that was going to happen?
I think you always wonder it because you just never know in this league. There's that business aspect that you just never know when stuff can happen like that. And for me, one of the biggest reasons why I didn't want to leave was being a part of the turnaround that we've had here and not wanting to leave what we've kind of started, kind of keep that train moving forward. And playing for one of the biggest reasons is I wanted to keep playing for Coach Taylor. I think he's such a player's coach. He takes care of us like no other, probably team does. And guys recover better because of that. He takes care of us if you're injured. I mean, all these different things that go into it. I mean, he's awesome. He's been tremendous to play for, and there's just no other coach I wanted to play for at the end.
You seem like you're downplaying kind of the whole news of this, similar to your personality.
Yeah.
But when you start in the NFL, I mean, I feel like most players' dreams is to make it to that second contract.
Right.
That's like the life-changing contract. When you think of it that way, did you have any feelings about like, wow, I really made it, or was it really just like you're like, well, it's done and now I can focus on?
I think it was probably a little of both. I mean, like you said, it's the contract you want to get towards, and as you probably know that from talking to me, I'm big on just living in the moment, being present, and just kind of focusing on that, and letting those outside things kind of take care of themselves if you just put in the work. And we're able to get that done. I think it really hit me when I came home, and my wife was in tears of joy because it's just like one of those things. It's like it's a sigh of relief in a sense that you got that security and it's done, and now you can just move forward and be in Cincinnati for the next 5 years.
What do you think is the hardest thing to this point in your career that you've ever had to deal with that you really felt like you grew from?
My shoulder, 100%. Yeah, going through that injury, how much pain it was to even get the tearing, the dislocation done. That was horrible. And then going from questioning whether or not you were going to be able to play again that year to rehabbing for 3 weeks, coming back, playing, and then I thought I played pretty well for the most part, coming back from a shoulder injury like that. And so I think that's where I kind of grew the most, is just understanding what I could endure in this game, because it is a game of pain, whether or not you want to say it like that. And so to go through that shoulder injury and bounce back from that adversity the way that I did, I think helped me grow.
Where would you rank the Super Bowl performance in the games you had, given that, including shoulder injury or not, where would you rank that in the games you've had so far?
Rank it?
Yeah, like in terms of how you feel like that was personally.
I mean, it's definitely up there because it's the stage doesn't get a whole lot bigger than that one. So, unfortunately, we had the infamous pass interference. But, for the most part, I thought I played very well that game and gave us a chance to win.
So many returning guys, Logan, that you're a part of now. What's the next step this year for the defense?
Yeah, I mean, we got some new guys obviously in the back end, losing Jesse and Vaughn, which is never easy, but they're putting their hats down and they're going to work, and that's all you can ask from those guys, and they're going to get better. And I think it's also on Jermaine and I being in that kind of that mid tier. We're in between the D line and the safeties to be able to kind of help them on certain things and teach them why we do that or what we're going to do versus this. And I think they'll learn from it, and they're busy soaking up all the information they can right now, and they're gonna do great for us.
Is that where you think you've grown the most? Is taking that leadership role and kind of being that intellectual leader on the field, if you will?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not necessarily the rah-rah motivational speaker type of guy, but I think on the field wearing the green dot, you kind of have to have that leadership mentality that you do need to be able to kind of calm guys down when stuff hits the fan, because that's the nature of this game. They're going to make plays too. They're getting paid on that side of the ball, and so just keeping guys calm, cool, and collected throughout the game, I think, is one of the biggest things you can do.
Starting your career on the back end, and you obviously have a skill set, but making the transition from being a linebacker, what kind of a sense of gratitude do you have for coaches that have helped you in that transition all the way to the current coach with that?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be here standing in front of you if it wasn't for all of them, and I make sure that that's known. Coach Bull was the first one that obviously switched me at Wyoming to linebacker, and then Scotty Hazelton, who's the DC at Michigan State right now. He actually texted me about saying congratulations, keeping in touch. He was at our wedding last summer, and he went through some stuff to try to make it to the wedding because he was on vacation. But that's another side note. It's cool to see the support that I have from coaches like that. You know, I credit a lot of my development to Coach Hazelton because he was like really my first full-time linebackers coach, and I got to have him for a couple of years, and we ran kind of an NFL-style cover 3 system in college with him, and just really helped me develop and understand the linebacker play. And you know, I'm forever grateful for him and obviously Coach Bull for switching me to that spot because, like I said, I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you guys today.
How much did you talk to Burrow, if any at all, kind of about the contract situation? Kind of went through it.
I didn't really. I just kind of kept to myself with the contract situation, honestly.
What's it like being part of the draft class? I mean, you, T, and Joe all at the top, really transforming, and rare you get to see that kind of impact from a core group like that. What's it been like to, like you kind of mentioned earlier, be at the beginning and then have you be part of that process, turn it around where it is now? Yeah,
it's awesome. I think to have the 3 of us like that. I mean, even the other guys that were in our class have all contributed in some form or fashion and done really well for us. And you know, we're all rooting for each other, and I think that's also rare because sometimes guys are just trying to get theirs in a sense. And this whole team camaraderie that we have is just rare, and that's also another reason why I wanted to be a part of it.
You officially signed yesterday.
Yeah.
It's not a practice. There's no practice. Did you celebrate? Do anything go to dinner?
I kind of kept to my usual regimen. You know, did some body work, some Pilates, massage, all that kind of stuff, and I went to breakfast with my wife before we did all that. But
a celebratory breakfast.
Yeah, maybe eventually we'll get to a celebratory dinner once we get some time.
What's the first thing you want to buy?
I don't know. I haven't really. We thought about that. We might move houses, but who knows? We'll see.
Any interesting reactions from teammates, amusing reactions since the news broke?
Right when the news broke, Mike Hilton went into the meeting, into his meeting, and then he must have seen it in the meeting when I was still at my locker and came back out and was just kind of staring at me laughing and just I was like, what? Because I didn't know it broke at the time yet. And he goes, I know what. And so that was awesome. It's cool to see guys that were happy for me to sign that. So.
Can you think back to a moment where it was like, yeah, I can do this, I can play the high level in the NFL? Was there a moment, was there a play, was there anything like that, or was it just slow build up?
I think, I'm trying to think, probably when you get your first turnover, maybe first interception, because that's obviously the biggest thing that you want to do on defense. Yeah, you can make tackles, but at the end of the day, it's about the ball. And so when I get my first interception, I feel like my game could translate to this level, and then I'm just trying to obviously work to get it better every day.
You use the expression being a small part of the team's success a couple of times, which reflects your humility. Mm-hmm. But this deal, I think, also shows everybody that you're a big part of this team's success. Does it change your own feeling about your importance to the future of the organization?
I mean, maybe a little bit, but at the end of the day, my mindset is never going to change. My mindset is what got me here at this point in my career, and I'm just not going to change that because it's just not who I am, and this is what's helped me be successful, so I'm going to continue to do it.